What's up, kings and queens? Welcome back. Thank you for joining me for the first ever episode of a new series I like to call Reveal the Eval. Reveal the Eval starts with an over the board game, not an online game, but a game that you played during a tournament or an over the board game that you played with family or friends. And during that overboard game, you are going to be writing down your moves, as you can see I've done already here. And the real fun begins after you input those moves into a chess.com analysis board, because throughout that process, you're going to be toggling the analysis and the eval bar on and off. And when you make a move and turn it back on, that's when the real shock factor comes in. We either are going to breathe a sigh of relief that we didn't blunder a move, we are going to laugh at our opponents who make mistakes. We may end up crying a little bit when our opponent finds a brilliant move that's the only move that keeps and gives them an advantage during the game, or a combination of a bunch of different emotions. Okay? We repeat this process until the end or the finish of the game, where we are either one, going to congratulate ourselves as being the king or queen of chess because we're the greatest players of all time, or we are going to pretend to be Vladimir Kramnik and accuse our opponents of cheating because we lose. Only two outcomes we have, win or loss. Now, you can join in on this fun by either joining me for my live sessions on Twitch and Kick, just like this one was recorded on Twitch and Kick just previously before I did this intro, or you can play yourself. You can have over the board games, write down your moves, analyze them, turn the analysis on and off, turn the eval bar on and off, and kind of give yourself that same emotion. Or if you wanted to, you can send me screenshots or pictures, or just write down the annotations of your game. Send them to me. Email should be at the bottom of this uh, video, and I will look at them and analyze them during live sessions of the next Reveal the Eval. Okay? Hope you guys have fun, because at the end of the day, that's what this is about, having some fun. So, with that being said, let's jump right in. So I have my little paper here. We're going to start making some moves. Now, this first game here, as you can see, I am playing as white. I am playing against my opponent, Armin, who was I want to say he was like 11 or 12. For those of you who go to over the board tournaments, as you know, 65 to 70% of them are children. So first game here is going to be against an 11, 12-year-old kid. Didn't actually grab his age, but that's what he looked like. And then second game against Dylan, when I'm black. Dylan is like 16, 17. So he may be a little older, but that's just what he looks like. So the first game that we're going to be first move I should be starting as, since I'm white, as you guys know, I always go e4. For the openings, I'm not going to be jiggling the analysis board on and off. I'll keep it on for now. But once we leave book, I am going to be turning off the analysis back and forth to kind of give that revealing status. Okay. Now, Armin went e5, which is natural. Obviously, I'm going for my, I don't want to say patent, but my routine, knight to f3, expecting him, like the analysis saying, to go here and enter my favorite, the Italian. Now, Armin does not do that. Armin actually plays the Philidor. Now, as you can see, the analysis here, it's kind of already in white's advantage. And Armin, because he was an 11, 12-year-old kid, if you ever played an 11, 12-year-old kid, they are very quick to play. Okay, so this is a classical game. Okay, we have 75 minutes for the game with a 5-second delay per move. Okay, so when he played this move here, d6, I knew one of two things. People who play d6, the Philidor, either are really good, okay, or don't know what they're doing. So I was kind of leaning towards the don't know what he's doing mentality, for the simple fact that he never played in a tournament before. He was unrated. I do have him down here as unrated. He's never played in an over-the-board tournament. So I was kind of leaning towards that, but I wanted to be on cautious side a little bit. So with this next move, it's still book move. I simply just played d4, which is, as the analysis said before, is the best move to play. Okay. Now here, I'll go ahead and turn off the bar a little bit, because here he finally leaves the book. He finally leaves where we are as far as normal moves. Okay. In this position, he goes bishop g4. He doesn't take the pawn. He attacks my knight. Okay. And here it gives me a little bit more information. This here kind of tells me that he is more on the I don't know what I'm doing point of the game, or don't know what I'm doing as far as chess is concerned in general. So here, I was testing him. Okay. I could have easily blocked if he takes, kind of keep it simple. But this move here tells me he's very aggressive. And I wanted to see how aggressive he would be. And that's kind of the theme throughout this game with Armin, is I was testing his aggressiveness. Okay. So instead of developing a piece and defending the knight, or developing another knight or bishop, I do develop a piece just to get the momentum, because I have a feeling he would probably take, or he would do something else that wasn't really proper. So I set up bishop to c4. Now let's turn on the analysis, see if that was a good move or not. Okay. White still has an advantage, so that's good. I want to go back to see what his move was. Okay. So his move was not the best. Okay. So to be fair, bishop to c4 wasn't even on the list, as you can see. But I played it anyways, and I still have an advantage. Okay. So I'm going to turn this back off. And I'm going to see where we end up. Now, Armin kind of proves me a little bit right, because without being initiated by h3 or anything along those lines, with the bishop going to e2, he immediately takes. Okay. Now, I'm not going to ruin my pawn structure, because I'm trying to castle this way. So I immediately take back with the queen, setting up checkmate. Okay. Now, as you can see, white already has a huge advantage. What are we, 5 moves in already? Yeah, we're 5 moves in. Kind of crazy. So I'm aiming for a quick checkmate, because, like I said, him taking right away, him sacrificing a bishop for a knight for no good reason, tells me he's very aggressive, and he doesn't quite know what he's doing on the chessboard. Sometimes you play those type of players. Sometimes you play players like in the next game, Dylan, very competitive. Okay. So here, let's see. yeah. I'm looking at the moves here. We got queen d7, knight f6, etc. e7. I'm going to tell you right now, the move Dylan plays was not on that list. Dylan played f6. Now, here things got interesting because he moved f6 obviously to protect this. But the thing is if I take and he takes back here, that's GG's. So I knew if I take here, he has to take here. Makes that easy. So I know he's aggressive. I know he doesn't know what he's doing. So I test that immediately. I go here. Okay. Now, obviously the f6 move, eval bar is just shooting up. I want to see what it was. Yeah, so my best move was actually to go here, aiming for this, and even a little situation like that, which is fine. Knight d takes is the second best move, which is what I do. And I'm going to keep the eval bar on because I know exactly what he's going to do here. He has to take d takes e, because if he doesn't, it's checkmate, which is fine. Now here, Engine still wants me to come here. And I don't do that. I actually do the third best move here. I do castle. Okay. And as you guys can see, still have an advantage. Still pretty good. And he actually plays the top engine line, which is knight to c6, developing his knight. Makes sense, right? Engine still wants me coming here. Let's see. After he plays that, I sat here for a minute. I was thinking. And because I was thinking to the point where the move I ended up playing is not on that previous list that you saw. Now, what I was thinking here is Armin's being super aggressive. I currently don't have any way in without, having to move my queen 1,000 times. I have a feeling he played this because he wants to come here, attack this, and then go here. Okay. Trying to possibly take this rook because, like I said, he's being super, super aggressive. Okay. And the issue I was having is I was also worried about this bishop because eventually I wanted to bring this rook out to protect this. Also, I wasn't sure if he was going to go here or here to kind of do that. It makes sense to go here because you attack the queen and then you aim here. But I figured if he goes here, I can simply just move here and eventually kind of just kick out the knight. Now, because I could do that with the knight, and also the queen protects this square here, I figured I stop the bishop. So I played a3 here. Okay, so let's take a look. Wasn't the best of moves, but Armin did exactly what I thought he was going to do, which was he goes knight d4. And I play the move I mentioned, which is queen to d3. All right, so let's turn back on the analysis. Where are we at? We still have that advantage, which is fine. Him going here. So it was either knight d1 or d3 that I was talking about to protect this square, which d1 far as this is concerned, actually, somehow that was, I guess he wanted to do this first and then come back. It is what it is. But d3, decent move nonetheless. Here, after I do that, he plays a6. He is trying to trap my bishop. Okay. Now, I see that he's trying to trap my bishop, which is fine. Because if he does attempt this, I have a little trick up my hand, up my sleeve. He plays a6. And what did I say I wanted to do last time? I wanted to move the d3 and kick out the knight. So I do exactly that. I start to kick out the knight. Now I have this square kind of locked down from both this and that. The bishop and the knight. And he's got to move the knight somewhere. He can't move it here. He can't move it here. He can't move it here, here, or here. Or here. Or here. His only spot to move the knight back is back where it came from. Okay. So let's take a look at the analysis. Still have an advantage. And he does exactly that. He goes knight. I lost my thought. Knight c6. Lost my spot. Now here, queens are facing each other. I could easily do a queen trade, but if I do that, I give him the file. I don't want to do that because I'm a few moves away from developing my back rank, so it'll be kind of vulnerable. So here, I go queen back to f3. I'm still eyeing this if he ever decides to do anything. Let's turn the analysis back on. I still have the pretty decent lead. Now, this move doesn't do much. Queen f3 is along the lines of the best moves, so that's not too bad. Now here, I'm going to pull this up. Here, he does something again that is not on the analysis here. Okay. He plays knight to a5. He's hunting my bishop to death. This man has made 1, 2, 3, 4 moves with his knight, and we are 11 moves in. Okay. Now, the issue with this move is, do I go forward or backwards? I can't remember. Yeah, I just come back. And his knight has no forward momentum. Only way that he can make any kind of momentum is to go back to where it came from. So my lead increases a little bit because that was obviously not the best move. My move was, which is fine. Let's go ahead and turn the eval bar off. And here, he's being super aggressive again. He goes c5, which at the time during this game, I thought was a pretty good move. Because if he goes here, that blocks my bishop in. It just does. He can do some other things. I wasn't really looking forward to that. So at the moment, it was a good move in what I thought. Okay. But so because of that and him kind of taking away my attack here, I decided to get super aggressive. Okay. I went bishop g5. Now, these two moves back to back here, I've been waiting since I played this game to actually analyze what they would be. Okay, because if he ends up taking, that's game, but I don't know if that's a good move as far as the computer's concerned. because he can still do that, and then I'm gonna have to move the bishop out anyways. Because if he goes here, I have to move the bishop away because now he can take because I have no checkmate opportunities. So I was expecting that. Okay. So let's take a look. My lead went down a little bit. I'm gonna take a look at his move. So best plan of action would have probably been to attack the knight. Like I said, I was so focused on this diagonal and this square, I didn't even think about that. Because if I go here, if he takes, that's just a free knight. So he would have to take back, pushing the knight back here again, which makes sense. I should have thought about that during the game, which is no problem. And then going into my move here just brings it down a little bit because, like I said, his best move is to go there. And I actually didn't, I don't know if I thought about that before or after I made this move. Because, like I said, I was playing on his aggressiveness a lot. So I was expecting him to be like, free bishop, and immediately checkmate him. So that was not the case. But also this was not the case either, because after I moved the g5, he just kicked the bishop out. Doesn't really kick it out, but it goes here. Right? Yeah, h4. We're kind of even where we are. He goes g5, kicking it again. I go here. I go here because, and I was expecting him to do that, because coming here, I can attack this pawn. I can attack, and if he takes back again, that's checkmate. So I was kind of super happy about that. Like I said, I was playing on his aggressiveness. I was playing expecting these two moves. So after he did that, he went h5. Okay. And actually, before I go that, I want to see what it looks like. I'm still up my 2.5 points. h5 is actually, depending on the depth, actually the best move. Okay. Now, the move I played next, as you can see here, is not on the analysis, which kind of scares me a little bit. And after I played this game, I kind of realized why. Because let me turn this off. And what have I been doing this entire time? I've been playing against Armin's aggressiveness, his naiveness, his youthness, his don't know what he's really doing in chess kind of game. So what I do here is I take his pawn. Because if he takes back, that's checkmate. Now, let me pull this analysis up. Because after I played this move, I realized he has this move here. Okay? He doesn't have to take. Because if he goes here, he's attacking my bishop. And my bishop can't go anywhere, including back to here, without being taken. So after I played this move, after the game, I wanted to know where I was at this point. And wow, I'm surprisingly still above. I thought he had a complete advantage after that move. Because yes, the best move is queen to e7. But what should I do here? f5? Queen f5? Why? Why is this the best move? So, before I go into my next move, or sorry, did I do that? Oh, I did do that. I didn't mean to do that. So, just to let you guys know, he did not play this move. I'm just showing you what would have happened. I want to go here. So queen takes is the best move for black. Check. Queen d8. Knight takes. I mean, bishop takes knight. Setting up a checkmate. That's not terrible. It's also not really findable because you're trying to set this up, because I guarantee you would have gone here. You would have done some nonsense like this. All right. So my move to take the pawn wasn't as bad as I thought. Now, I mentioned he did not play this move. Okay. He could have played that move. He could have played something like c4, shutting this line down, which I would have had to move the bishop again. Moving it back this time would have been easy because this pawn wouldn't be here. So he didn't play that move. He didn't play this move. In this position, Armin forgets about his f7 square and takes my bishop. And as you guys can see here, only 17 moves into the game, and I gave him a checkmate. Kind of a lackluster first game in Reveal the Eval, but it was the first one that I was hoping, and it was, you know, the first one that I played since coming up with the idea over the board game, put it that way. But kind of surprising, nonetheless. So, yeah, that's just straight checkmate. All right. So that's the first game. Let's move on to the second game. Okay. Second game was longer. I'll just give you guys that straight off the bat. Second game was with Dylan. Like I said, he was the 16, 17-year-old kid. He may have been a little older. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But this game was actually pretty good. Dylan knows what he was doing. It was actually pretty competitive, kind of until the very end. And there was a lot, especially the middle games and the end game, a lot of tactics to play with and a lot of thinking that we ended up doing. So with this first game here, let me go back to the regular analysis. Dylan plays d4. Okay, I played d5. Hold on. Sorry. Back that up a little bit. I was on the... See, that's the issue with the paper. There's multiple games going on. He played e4. I play e5. He plays knight f3, knight c6. He goes into an Italian. I go into a two knights Italian. Like I said, this is all pretty book moves here. That's just a threat. He comes here, knight to g5, trying to set up a fried liver. Okay. Now, I hate to say this. This line here, this attempt at the fried liver, is one of my favorite lines of all time, as you guys have probably known if you've watched me play chess. So I know this line very, very well. Okay. So you go here. Okay. This gets taken. I go here. He comes here. I'm just trying to make sure I'm still in the right spot. He goes here. He takes. I take back. Okay, and here he plays the best move, bishop d3. For those of you that don't believe me, let me pull up the analysis. Bishop d3 is the best move. A lot of people go here, giving black a total advantage after h6. Okay. Some people bring the queen out. Okay. Expecting black to take, and you lose a rook. Funny enough, that actually is a line. It's actually one of the better lines. But he keeps it kind of solid. He goes back to d3. Now here, after, what is this? 8 moves. Most people I play don't play d3, so I haven't looked into this line very much. Now, the move I play here doesn't give him a huge advantage, but it does help me out, and that is bishop to c5. Okay, develops a piece, gets me ready to castle. It's a move I like to play. Okay. Now, after I play that, he plays a move that's not on this list. So as you guys can see, he's got 3 moves that keep the advantage. Everything else gives me the advantage. Okay. So I'm going to turn this off. Take a look at the Italian knight attack, Polero, bishop check line. Okay. I'm going to play his move. His move is uninitiated, by the way. I did not play a6. So this is completely uninitiated. Knight to e4, attacking my bishop, as you can see by the line. Okay. Now, here I calculated the fact that he could go, if I take, I go here. Yes, he's attacking this, but I can immediately threaten both the bishop and checkmate at the same time. So what I thought, because I thought about this move here for quite a bit. It was probably about 10 minutes or so. If he takes here, I go here. I go here. He has to either bring his queen here or here to protect both this and checkmate. Okay. So I thought if he brings it here, I simply castle. Okay. So after takes, threaten, checkmate, and this, if he goes here, I castle. Simple enough, right? I also thought takes here. If he comes here, then I have a huge advantage, I thought, by bringing the bishop out. Because if I bring the bishop out, he can't protect both checkmate and the bishop here. So he would have to, in my opinion, go g3. Now, I'm going to play this line out just to show you guys what I was thinking. Okay, like I said, attacking both threats. Going here, if he goes here, the best move for me would have been f5. Kind of crazy to think about. Second best move is castling, which is what I was going to do. Okay, so that move is pretty straightforward. If he goes here, however, oh, it's still castling. Oh, I had this move on deck as well. I thought about doing that, forcing him to take with the queen, so I take his bishop and be up a pawn. And then if he tries to block, yeah, I thought about that as well. The move I play, however, because he does do that. He does go to f3. Oh, I wait. I do castle. Okay, I forgot my move order. Sorry. I do castle because I figured let me get my king safe first. Because if he tries to kick this out, I just go here, and I'm pretty comfy. So I do castle, get my king safe. He does come. Well, the best move is to go g3. However, what does he do? Sorry. He castles as well. And then now, this is where I go bishop g4. Let me turn the analysis off because that's not even on here. And I'm afraid I may have made a blunder. So let me take a look. So bishop g4 attacks the queen. I thought here this was probably the best move. Trading the queens, get the best pieces off, messing up his pawn structure. At the same time, leaving only one piece out versus three. I'm super developed, etc. Okay. Now, I'm curious why this is not a good move. Bishop g4 is not a good move. Why? Okay, it's not terrible. So my line was kind of, the line I was thinking about wasn't too bad. Goes here, I take, h takes the best option. Was that my best option though, taking back? Yeah, it was. Takes, and then f5. Interesting. No, hold on. B f5, sorry. Pretty solid, not gonna lie. That does one of two things. Kicks this out, brings this over. Honestly, I would even let him take this and go here and still bring this over. That's just me personally. So I want to say it's pretty even after those few moves. However, Dylan doesn't go to queen g3 here. Okay. So after bishop to g4, he goes queen c3, which is the second best move. Fine. He's attacking both my bishop and my knight. He goes here. And actually this pawn as well. But that's another queen move that he's made. Okay? That is another queen move. He's only got two pieces out. All of his other pieces are on the back rank. I've got four pieces out. A couple pawns in the center. So I figured it was pretty close after that move. Now, here I thought for a bit. I thought about attacking this rook. It would have to move. Then I would get in. And that would be GG's. I thought about that. But there was nothing stopping him from taking this first. Me take back. And him take, and him just being up two bishops for a rook. So I eventually decided not for that move. Now, the engine here says attack the bishop. Personally, I think as black, keeping as many attacking pieces on the board as possible is vital. Okay. Yes, if I go here, he takes this, I have this, I still have the same amount of pieces, fine. But how am I protecting both this and this after that? So I figured if I go here, he will only have two targets. Because this protects the knight. It also gets the bishop out of the way. Those two targets being here and here. He's obviously not going to take with the queen because the knight will take back. So he would think about getting a pawn up, taking back with the queen. I thought about him doing that. Okay. If I go there, he takes. That's not good. So I thought if he takes, I can just move the rook over, trapping his bishop. Not a bad idea. Also, the same thing if he takes here. If I go back this way, he takes here, same thing. Bulldozer on the E file. So I figured he'd have to move his queen yet again. Me activating in pieces, him being up a pawn, another pawn, but having to move the queen, falling behind in development. So that's why I ultimately ended up the third best move here, just backing the bishop up. Now, as you guys can see here, the eval bar says Dylan has one move to keep the advantage. And that is, again, queen to g3. I'm going to tell you guys right now, he does not play queen to g3. Okay. Let's move to here so you guys can see. Okay. Dylan in this position actually falls for one of these lines. Now, one of these lines is, both of these lines actually are winning for white, like I mentioned. Only one good move for, or winning for black. Only one good move for white. Okay. But which pawn does he take? Does he take the E pawn or the C pawn? Does he give me the file in the middle, or does he trap his queen? Sorry, his bishop. Here, Dylan plays bishop takes c4, thinking he's attacking my rook. I would move it, or I would take back, and then he would take back with the queen. However, like I was mentioning before, actually, I want to make sure I get the right rook. I forget which rook I took with. Rook A. So I do move the rook here. Let's take a look at the analysis. Black is now completely winning. And that was actually the best move for me, was rook A to c8. Okay. I don't know why taking first would be beneficial. Oh. Setting that up. Got it. And then if he goes here, I go here. Okay. Which is fine. But he takes with well, I don't take at all. I move the rook over. Okay. So here he realized, oh crap, my bishop is trapped. I'm actually shocked that the best move in this position is to just sacrifice the queen. This seems crazy to me. This is white's best option. Wild. Just absolutely wild. To be fair, that does protect this square from this bishop move and eventually checkmate opportunities, but that's just wild. Now, Dylan does not play that move. Obviously, no amateur club player is going to just straight up sacrifice a queen without an advantage. What move does he play, though? Let's see. I'm getting kind of far down here. Actually, I'm not too far down. 13? Yeah. He just takes the other pawn, which loses him an advantage again. Because not only do I take the bishop, which is what I saw, I attack his queen yet again. Now, his best move in this position would to be, again, queen to g3. Now, I still keep a huge advantage because I am now up material. Well, it's even on material. But without a queen, damaging structure, super far behind in development. I pretty much got that locked in a bag. So his best move is queen g3. Now Dylan here does play the second best move, queen to f3. But I want to see what was my response after that. Oh, my response after that, funny enough, I missed, in this position, I missed where was it? Oh, was it? There was a move with the knight that after I made my move, I was like, shit. Oh, that's right. The move I missed was knight to e5. Because I expected him to take. And I go here. Now, he has to take back or it's checkmate. That's the move I missed. I got tunnel vision, however, and I immediately moved my bishop to c7. Now here, it's not completely checkmate for the simple fact that he has this move, g3. Okay? Because if I take, he takes back, and the attack kind of fiddles from there. So as soon as I made this move, I was like, crap, he has this. I should have gone there first. However, let me take a look at the analysis. Again, it wants g3, just straight up giving up the queen. That's hilarious. Now, was this move my best move, or was the knight move my best move? Okay, so it was actually flip-flopping back and forth between the two moves. And actually, that move wasn't even on the radar. Yeah, that just straight up loses a knight. Never mind. Glad I didn't play it. This move, however, was on par with this. Okay, so I did end up making the best move. Great. Now, after this move, bishop c7, he finally does play. Oh, he plays g3. Actually. I play the top move, which I knew I was expecting after g3, which is queen to h3. And here he has the decision to make. He has to stay on this diagonal. Obviously, he can't go there because I take. But if he doesn't, thanks for the follow. Was that Cosmo KR? Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow on Cake. Oh, Hannah Sates. What's going on? Another host by Hannah. I appreciate it. I'm just going over a new series I call Reveal the Eval, where I go over a bunch of over-the-board games on paper, put the moves in, and then get surprised by the evaluation. Either if I made a blunder, or my opponent does, or I cry when I lose the game. So we're actually in the second game right now of this, but I appreciate the host, Hannah, like always. That's what's up. I know you're in Australian time, and it's bedtime. Probably bedtime. I appreciate that. Is this where the raid went? Yes, the raid went here. And sends the raid over my way because I'm the only one who usually plays this early or streams this early in the morning and on Kick at least. So I appreciate that, Hannah. All right, so back to the game. My opponent, after I moved queen to h3, it's got a decision to make. It's got to stay on protecting this diagonal. He can either go here, he can here or here, because if he doesn't, I'm simply moving the bishop, and that's GG's on the next turn. So what he does after queen to h3, he does make what I believe was the best move. We'll take a look to see what it actually, if that actually was or not. It might not have been. Queen takes. That's hilarious. Queen takes is actually the best move. But queen to e4 puts an M in the evaluation. Funny enough. With d4 move deflecting the queen off this diagonal. Which I think is hilarious. So queen e4, knight to e5. So knight to e5, there's not an M in the evaluation, but knight to d4 there is. That's interesting. I actually played knight to e5 because if he does take, yeah, that's GG's. Okay, but he doesn't have to take. I'm also threatening this as well, moving this over, and that's checkmate. So what does Dylan do in this scenario after knight to e5? Well, he plays f3, which I did see, but I figured that it was a desperation move. Okay, in this position, I give the opponent a check. He has one, oh, sorry, he has, this is the best move. But if he didn't play that, if he moved the rook here, that would be, sorry, that would be a quick GG's eventually. Move this over, take, it is what it is. If he just straight up moves it, same thing happens. Now this is the best move, and this is the move that he does play. Pawn to d4. Attacking this, blocking the check, still putting pressure on here. But here I find a move that I was actually kind of proud about. Okay, I know it's the eval. Sorry, let me move the analysis. Thank you for the follow, Boxy. Thank you for the follow. The eval says it's the third best move, but I thought it was genius because if I go here and he takes, that's again deflecting from this diagonal, and that's kind of GG's in a couple moves. And also if he takes here, same thing. So he thought here for 25 to 30 minutes, Dylan did. Because when I made this move, I did not see this. Funny enough, I did not see the knight move. But he thought for 25 or 30 minutes, and he does find this knight move here. Let me turn the analysis off, because here things get a little wild. And this is what I was talking about at the very beginning of the stream, where the second game was nothing but tactics in the middle and the end game. Because I had to play this absolutely correct, or I would lose a bunch of pieces. Okay. So here, after knight to d2, I knew if I go here, he would have to take. I'd have to take back. He'd go here. Makes things a little difficult. But I also have some in-between moves as well. So I didn't see this move, which means, you know, I'm going to have to liquidate some pieces. The analysis wants me to take with the knight. Now, taking with the bishop is the second best move. They're both mate and 17. I guess they're evenly the best move. I go ahead and I do indeed take with the bishop. Attacking the queen, threatening checkmate. If he takes, I'm going to hit him with a queen move. I mean, a check, etc. So he takes back. I take back with the knight. Now, I don't know if this is the best move or not at this point, because he can't take back here because that's checkmate. So he has to take back here. So I want to take a look at the evaluation. Not terrible. Still has an M in the evaluation, so that's good. He does indeed take back. And here I gave a check. No, did I give a check? Sorry. He moves his... I mess up? Oh, no, I do. I give him a check, yeah. And then he moves this here. Now, it's still mate in 11. Okay? Let's see. And I knew as soon as he would move here, I'm going to activate my last piece, which is what I did. Rook e8. That is checkmate in 2 moves. It says this is the best move. Taking back, fine. I did see this move here. I thought this might have been the best move. Either F1 or D1. They kind of do the same purpose. Now, I figured if he goes here, I can take. If he takes back, that's a nice deflection of this back ring, giving him checkmate. Okay. And if he goes here, what was I going to do if he went here? I probably would have just backed up, I think. I can't remember. If he went here, oh, I probably would have sacrificed the rook. No, I wouldn't be able to sacrifice the rook. I forget exactly what. I was expecting him to really kind of go here, to be all honest. Now, in this position, however, my new friend Dylan, after rook to e8, played a move that I thought made sense as far as deflecting this from checkmate. However, with how tactical this position is, he had to be a little bit more precise. Okay? Because this next move here, he ended up going knight to e4. He probably thought, okay, I'm protecting this from checkmate, protecting that from checkmate because I can just take back. And if he takes back. But what he doesn't realize is it's a simple moving of the knight, checkmating him at the very end. Okay. This was a really good game. I'm not even going to lie. Even with having an M in the evaluation for like the last 10 moves or so, he played very well in the opening. I mean, sorry. Yeah, in the opening. For somebody who doesn't play this position very often, and himself being. And then this move here, I think, was kind of his downfall. Because after this, there wasn't... Sorry, he didn't go here. He went here. And then we castled. This board is all jacked up. And then I go G4. He should have gone here, but he didn't. He went here instead. Moved his queen yet again. I back up. He takes, and here was his big blunder. After this move, it was kind of pretty much over. He has no development. I go up by, well, I tie up, get up with a, after he goes here, I take, he moves, where does he go? F4 here. He's got a lone queen, nothing developed on the back rank. I got 5 pieces out, and it was pretty much GG's at this point. Now, he did make, sorry, that was not the correct move. This one was. He did make a good effort as far as trying to defend himself. I will give him that. He did everything in his ability to do just that. Well, that was not the right move. Sorry. I should have done this a little bit better. Not the right move. He goes here. I go here. There we go. Actually, I do go here. But where does he go after that? I forget. Oh, he goes here. That's right. He does, like I said, a pretty good job of defending himself. I just did a better job of attacking. Like I said, I had way too many pieces out. This was actually a pretty good move, I thought. I didn't quite know what was going to happen after takes. I thought I was out of attacking opportunities. I know that Eval bar says it's still M15, but it's like at this position, if you're playing a classical game, it's really like after this move. Because I didn't think about this until after he moved, to be honest. So when I'm way back after this move, I'm way back here thinking takes. I can't write arrows for some reason. This far back, you're not thinking about this rook move. So it was at this position that I thought for a while. And I really wasn't sure about taking the pawn and the rook. And then put him in check and putting his king in the corner. Because I didn't think about this. It was only after the fact, after all of these moves, that I thought about this rook to E1 move. Now, he kind of made it easy for me and gave up checkmate. But if he would have gone here, it might have been still a game. Because I probably would have had to take back. He'd take, and actually, let's play that out. See what happens. Yeah, so that's not even the best move for me taking back. It's G4. Yeah, just making a quiet move. Yeah, so after this, I know it says M8, but it's kind of hard to tell. So I'll give it to Dylan. He played an incredible endgame there. He defended himself very well, but at the end of the day, that was more or less not the best opening he could have played. Playing the fried liver, or attempting to play the fried liver, is never a good option, especially against somebody who knows how to counterattack it, even if you know the best move afterwards. Fried liver is just one of those things. You just, as black, you just get way too much activity. And it's good because you think you're going to be up, a pawn, but if black knows how to capitalize, yeah. So that was his first mistake. But overall, overall, it was a good game. Both games were pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, Reveal the Eval. It was a little exciting. Nothing crazy this time. No crazy blunders or mistakes or anything along those lines for either opponent for either game. And actually, yeah. So, and actually, I just realized I could have taken with either one. But pretty good way to evaluate over the board games that you have on your paper scorecards. Honestly, that's the only 2 games I got. I'm going to call it a day. I hope you guys have a above average rest of your day. I'm probably going to upload this to the YouTube channel if you guys want to subscribe to that. Some of you guys coming from Hannah's Raid, I would appreciate it. But I hope you guys have above average rest of your day. I'm out. Deuces.